If you drive past a dealership right now, their lot will most likely be completely full. They're even going to have overflow lots in the back or around the city completely full. They have so many cars they don't know what to do with. They're finally starting to discount. Pretty much every vehicle now is below MSRP, and to think that all these people were paying over MSRP just 3 years ago, which caused a lot of issues. Now there's so many people that want to buy cars but they can't get approved, they have negative equity, it's becoming a real issue. But dealerships are finally getting what they deserve. Their lots are completely full. All the cars you see, possibly millions and millions of dollars of inventory sitting on the lot, is going to be financed through a floor plan. So they have to pay payments on those cars sitting there. And the longer it sits, the more of a problem it becomes for the dealer. And we're seeing cars that have been sitting on the lot for 2 to 3 years in some cases. It's a big issue for some of these dealers. But they're so bad. I mean, the business practices that they did, from market adjustments to add-ons to all this greedy stuff, they went crazy over the last few years. I mean, nitrogen-filled tires, from protection this, protection that, and you don't even get anything for it, and it'll be thousands of dollars over MSRP. Or they'll just put additional dealer profit or just add a market adjustment, what they call it, $10,000, $20,000 over MSRP. These are the kinds of games that these dealers were playing, and some of them are still doing it today, because think about it, some dealers cannot get out of it. They're like, I was making all this money per vehicle a few years ago, and they have to change the way they did business now. It's back to before 2020. It's on a volume basis. The dealers that are really making it now are on that volume basis. Try to sell as many cars as possible. Even if you lose in the front end, you can make it up in the finance. And that's half the problem. That finance department screws so many people over, selling warranties and all this extra stuff. Again, you're buying a piece of paper. Basically, that's your warranty, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000, and hopefully they protect you. But half of it is not guaranteed, and it's pretty dang scary for the amount of money you're paying. And all it is additional dealer profit for the dealer. That's all they want to do, is make more money off of you, to the point where it went crazy. I mean, nitrogen-filled tires, they're charging for air. I've seen it at hundreds of dealers, and it's crazy that they do it. But there's a bigger issue in the car market in general. In the United States, you cannot buy directly from the manufacturer. Like Ford, Toyota, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, you have to go through a third-party dealership, which you would think if we lived in a free market, we could buy from whoever we want. But no, states literally have something called franchise laws to stop it. And it completely makes the market unfair, because dealerships have too much power. They're literally put there because of government laws. So it's not cool, and manufacturers would, if they could, sell their own cars. And some people say, well, what about service? Well, manufacturers can have their own service bays too. That's not a problem. It's just sad that franchise laws exist, and it is what it is. Dealerships have so much power because all the lobbying they do, and they put all their money together, from screwing you on nitrogen-filled tires to lobbying to keep them in business, because dealerships are a third party from the manufacturer, and they just get a portion of that money just for selling the vehicle, and the manufacturer would love to do it, but they can't. And unfortunately, in today's world, most people would rather go to the manufacturer and just pay the price. It is what it is, instead of having to negotiate and deal with a dealership. They have online price and lot price, so you go there, you see the price online, but it's not an actual price. You have to do this. They rebate stack. There's all sorts of scummy things that dealerships do. And finally, now their lots are completely full. They're getting a taste of their own medicine. Every dealership, their profit per vehicle is down. Now, is it down enough? No, it needs to keep going down, especially after what they did over the last few years. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them did the whole market adjustment thing. I mean, we've seen it crazy. Add-on after add-on. They love to do extra packages, $30,000 for wheels and lift on a truck. It's just all sorts of crazy stuff that these dealers do to try to increase their profit, and they had the easiest time ever over the last few years, but that's all changed. And even people in the car industry would agree, it's harder to get people approved. The times of easy car sales are done. Dealerships are having to work much harder to get their customers done and get them approved through the bank, because at the end of the day, the banks control the car sales. If the banks start declining loans, then they don't sell any cars, because everybody's a payment buyer. With the average payment being over $750 and the average new car being over $50,000. And they're not financing for 36 months. I'm talking about 84 and even some 96-month loans. So it just puts their customers farther behind, and they're trying to come back and buy a new car, but they did long loan terms and they're upside down. So negative equity is a huge issue, and think about it, they're financing these cars 7, 8 years, and half of them have issues. They won't even make it that long. That's the craziest part about the whole thing. But most people are on the same page. They don't like dealerships. It's that simple. Third-party dealerships are put there because of franchise laws. They shouldn't be there in the first place. Maybe a couple of them can survive survive, but most of them would be out of business quicker than quick if the manufacturer can sell. People are tired of dealing with salespeople. They would rather deal with an AI chat or something than a salesperson. I mean, come on, you're talking about a car salesperson? Nobody likes dealing with them. And don't play any games with any sort of add-ons. This is the only way we're actually going to show these dealerships and manufacturers a lesson. Don't buy their overpriced junk, especially if they have any sort of add-ons. You got to get out of there quicker than quick. $300 nitrogen-filled tires, add on this, add on that. I can't believe what I've seen. But these dealerships will just keep doing it because it's just what they know. They don't know any other way, and unfortunately, some people just walk in and they don't know. But they're starting to watch videos online and they're learning to negotiate and learning not to play games. Sometimes you have to go out of state to get the best deal possible, which is crazy because some cities are just loaded with every dealership doing add-on, add-on, add-on. But other cities, it seems like the dealerships have to fight each other a little bit more to get the business. But let me know what you think. Do you see dealerships completely packed full of cars? Some of them still have 2 to 3 year old cars sitting on their lot. They're getting what they deserve. Let me know what you think. Have a great day and stay blessed.